For your land, explore your sister islands. And Doctors Hospital. Peace of mind is important when life happens. Doctors Hospital, always there for you. Call 949-6066. And Cineco, keeping Cayman covered. Visit cineco.ky for your quote today.
But I do have some questions.
There are more questions than answers.
Cayman Islands' foremost listeners' participation program.
Talk today.
What's on your mind, Cayman? If you're ready to talk, we are ready to listen. Discussing current events and local news, community spotlights, hot topics, listener stories, cultural and historical discussions, environmental issues, fun and lighthearted topics, guest interviews. Cayman, basically anything you want to talk about, we are ready to listen. Here's your host, Charles Glidden.
Coming up, it's Breastfeeding Week, and we'll hear about the importance of breastfeeding from the Cayman Islands Breastfeeding Support Group. And later in the show, it's Open Line, when you can let us know what's on your mind. Talk Today is next on Radio Cayman. Stay with me.
Talk Today is reminding you
to avoid any statements or comments which are abusive, derogatory, malicious, or defamatory. Do not use indecent language or make any statement that is false or misleading. Call 1-800-534-8255, 949-6990, 949-8037, or WhatsApp us on 925-3261.
And now, back to Talk Today.
Here we go. Good afternoon, and welcome to Talk Today. I'm Charles Glidden. Thank you for making me a part of your afternoon. I hope you're enjoying the week so far. Seems like even more people are away in August and, getting in that last chance to take a summer vacation, leaving the roads for those who are still here with less traffic. Schools open at the end of the month. So, enjoy the open streets of Cayman while you can. And it's hot everywhere. Hot. Not just in the Caribbean, but even in North America. It's, you got places going over 100 degrees. El Nino is keeping the Caribbean drier and hotter than usual. But, I'm not complaining. I'll take the heat over, hurricanes any day. And hopefully El Nino will continue to keep the Caribbean free of hurricanes for this season. We'll probably get something passing through sooner or later. But causing a lot of weird weather in other places. Well, this is Breastfeeding Week with the theme of breastfeeding for a sustainable start in life. Strengthen what works. And joining me in the studio to tell us more are Glidden Farley of the Cayman Islands Breastfeeding Support Group, Sue Warwick of Doctors Hospital, and from Health City, we have Dr. Mohini Sachdeva and Alexandria Douglas. Ladies, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
And welcome to our studio. Glidden, let me start with you and tell us what is behind this theme for this year.
Right, so the theme, Breastfeeding for a Sustainable Start in Life, Strengthen What Works, is all about building up the support that we already have in place for breastfeeding and that we already know works, and just strengthening that support that we already have. So it's things like breastfeeding education, skilled healthcare support, things like peer support, and even support in the workplace and in public policy, all helps to build a more sustainable start to breastfeeding for families.
What would you say is the general attitude toward breastfeeding in modern Cayman?
Well, I've breastfed in Cayman, and I've always had a lot of support from in my healthcare provider, but also breastfeeding in public. I've had nobody's ever said anything negative to me, and if anything, I've had people come and say, that I'm doing a great job. But we're helping to also build up the community support as well. And one thing that's amazing at Cayman is the support between moms. And we have a community group for moms called Milk Bar, where moms get together once a week and they can breastfeed in public together, which is a really nice way to help moms just build their confidence in breastfeeding in public and to get moral support from each other as well.
What would the rest of you say from your encounters? I mean, is that now the preferred way to feed a baby? I mean, I know people used to turn to the bottle almost right away years ago.
Although we promote it, okay, we know it's a really good healthy start for the babies, and bonding with mums, etc. But we have also got the baby in the centre of this. So we do concentrate on infant feeding, but obviously this is breastfeeding awareness. So it's all the support that we can give families and mums to successfully breastfeed, whether that be, ideally, we'd love them to feed minimum for 6 months, which is difficult here. But we need it to be normality rather than some mums know a little bit about it. They might not know anything about feeding antenatally at all. They might not have had exposure to it. So especially, we've got so many people that live on the island from different cultures. They may never have even seen anyone breastfeeding. It's like, I want to do this and I'd like to do that. But it's not the easiest thing to do, especially if it's a first-time mum. They need a lot of support, whether it's from the milk bar, from midwives, lactation. I know we're going to go on to those conversations as well. But it's trying to make it as normality so that it's more common to see in public rather than, I know from the country that I've come from, that women were often asked to leave a restaurant to go and feed their baby in the toilet. Now, for me, I'm a little bit mouthy and I will say, no, I'm sorry, if you don't like it, why don't you go to the toilet and eat your food? You don't have to watch that mum feeding. So, and it's putting too much stigma on the mum and, I can't do this in public. But we should make it normality. And like Kerridan was saying about the milk bar, making a safe place for mums to feel relaxed and do that and get the confidence to do that in public as well, wherever they may be, because there is unfortunately still a little bit of stigma that should be done, that no one should see that, which is really sad, because I have mums that say, I'm a bit nervous feeding in public because they've never seen anyone do it. It's not many years ago they may have seen their mums, their sisters, their aunts, their friends, but you don't see that often now. So, but I think you've said no one's ever said, I've never heard of mum say, I've been told to leave on island, so, which is good.
But is breastfeeding among young mothers the preferred?
A lot start breastfeeding from when they're in the hospital, and they're encouraged to. But at the moment, I don't think we've got many statistics of how many are continuing to feed past the time they've left the hospital, 10 days, 14 days, 28 days. So although we're seeing a positive from the hospital and the support there and going home feeding, we don't actually know how many are continuing feeding past a couple of weeks, 28 days, 6 months. I think, Kerridan, you fed for quite some time, didn't you? So, which is great if mums can, but the knock-on effect from that is there's not a long maternity leave on island for mums.
Yeah, how long is it now? It's
3 months.
3 months.
Yeah, so...
And you recommend 6 months of breastfeeding?
WHO recommend that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So talk a little bit about, the barriers that women and I guess the inconveniences that they have to face in choosing to, breastfeed, especially for 6 months. What does a woman have to go through to, be able to do that, to give her child the best feeding?
Although breastfeeding...
Yes, just take the mic over a little bit.
Breastfeeding is natural, but it doesn't come that naturally. You have to get the hang of it, and especially for first-time mums, as Sue pointed out, it's difficult to get the hang of it, to learn the cues when the baby is hungry, how to latch properly. So the first couple of days, 1 or 2 days that they're in the hospital, there are obstetricians, midwives, and nurses rallying around them 24/7, helping them, making sure that they're confident at doing it. But once they are discharged from the hospital, that's when the real struggle begins, I believe, because ultimately it's your family support, your peer support, and the community support that you need to continue it for 6 months. Because, well, your obstetrician says, oh, I'll see you after 6 weeks. What happens after that? I think that's where the community support and strengthening the social ties comes in.
So, and tell us about the work of Cayman Breastfeeding Group.
So the Cayman Islands Breastfeeding Support Group, we offer a couple of different things, but the main thing that we offer is we come into the homes of moms, and it's completely free. So we visit you at your home, so you don't have to get out of the house with the baby. You can just call us. We'll have a volunteer come and visit you, and we can help with a whole range of things, whether it's you just need a little bit of moral support, or if it's things like helping to learn how do you actually latch the baby on. We help with if there's issues, like if the mom is having any pain or discomfort, or if the baby is having difficulty latching on, we can help with those sorts of things. We also try to make sure that we refer out to other providers if there's any additional support that may be needed, like if a mom needs to see maybe her doctor for if she's experiencing something called mastitis, which is like where there can be inflammation that causes pain, so then she'd need to see her doctor. But anything that's more to do with just the baby, we can help with. The baby and latching or positioning, we can help with that kind of thing.
So I saw in the notes that you actually go into homes and help with chores around the homes?
No, that's not what we do as part of the breastfeeding group. That would be maybe like the role of a postpartum doula, which I'm a postpartum doula. So a postpartum doula can help with all sorts of things, from helping with cooking for the mom, helping take care of the baby while she can rest, helping give emotional support, and all of that helps breastfeeding. Because if a mom is spending hours every single day feeding her baby, it can be really, and not only feeding the baby but also the lack of sleep, and it can be really hard to get anything else done, especially just in those really early days. So that's where, it doesn't have to be a postpartum doula, but having all kinds of community support, friends, family who can come into your home or just give whatever kind of practical, maybe it's just running errands, but all of that helps to support breastfeeding. Even if it's not directly linked to the breastfeeding, it does help support it.
Because sometimes there's people here on island that haven't got family, and they have to rely on friends and the support groups, the hospitals as well. Picking up the phone, speaking to the midwives, whatever phone is, this isn't going right, or what in the middle of the night. Unfortunately, your doula might not be there in the middle of the night, but midwives are in the hospital 24/7, so they could even phone up and say, "Okay, come in," and we're going to be getting the midwives out from doctors to do those home visits when they first go home. That's coming, but it's not here just yet. But it is so important, like Kerrigan was saying, if you've got an exhausted mum there, that she's still expected to wash all the clothes and feed the baby, and she can't sleep, and the partner's gone to work, and just having someone there to do some of those other things that unfortunately we wouldn't be able to as midwives do, but you could, actually helps with that successful breastfeeding, and that's where the support group's coming, isn't it? It's so important.
All right, we have to pause here. We're going to take a little break. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
There you go, sir. Thanks for choosing JN Money Transfer.
Boy, thanks to JN Money Transfer, I can stay right here in Cayman and pay mama bills back home in Jamaica. Her water, light, phone and other bills never late. Every month I pay everything in one place.
Make payments to over 30 companies in Jamaica through JN Money Transfer. Fast, affordable, convenient. Call 1-800-744-1163 for details.
Aye, Bobo TD Cuzzy, everybody. I hear Cayman Airways celebrating their 58th anniversary by giving us the gifts. They got airfares on sale now for flights to every place they fly to next month through December. Look here, I go and book my flights now to go Galawantan next month with Cayman Airways. I'll see you directly.
Catch your seat on sale by August 8th. Other conditions apply. Call 949-2311 or visit CaymanAirways.com. Your award-winning, uniquely Caymanian airline.
Hey, new drivers. Don't just drive, drive smart. Cynical and Inspire Cayman's Safe Driver program will show you how. Get real-life simulator training and classroom sessions to help you gain experience, stay alert, and avoid accidents. Learn to recognize risk, manage fatigue, and make smart choices behind the wheel. Certified participants may even pay less for Cynical motor insurance. Learn more and register at cynical.ky. Cynical, keeping Cayman covered.
Hi, this is Gary King from Totally 80s. My special guest this week is Debbie Gibson. Debbie tells us who inspired her as a kid. I'll also bring you the latest news on the biggest stars of the decade.
This is Totally 80s.
Heard on Saturdays from 2 until 4 p.m. on Breeze 105.3 and 91.9.
Radio Cayman's Talk Today. What is on your mind, Cayman?
Welcome back, and we're talking about Breastfeeding Week. Breastfeeding for a sustainable start in life, strengthen what works. And in the studio with me, we have Karen Farley of the Cayman Islands Breastfeeding Support Group, Sue Warwick of Doctors Hospital, and from Health City, Dr. Mohindi Sachdeva and Alexandria Douglas. Now, you have the whole idea of sustainability and having a support group is very much part of the programs at both hospitals. Tell us about how you support your moms that have babies at your hospitals.
So at Health City, which I'm sure is very similar to
Just lift the mic up a little bit.
Doctors Hospital, our support systems start well before birth. So we do antenatal education, where we help families prepare for breastfeeding and for the early days with their baby. At Health City, we offer free antenatal classes, which are held every second Monday. And it's a wonderful opportunity to meet our midwives and doctors and connect with other parents-to-be and learn about breastfeeding, newborn care and labour. So I think that's...
It's very similar at Doctors Hospital as well. So we at the moment we do every other month, and they're Mondays as well. Mm-hmm. So it's 3 sessions, and one of which is all about breastfeeding and what to expect. So it's not just breastfeeding. There's other ones, but there's one main one for breastfeeding, and anyone's welcome wherever they want to birth their baby. They're welcome to come along, but we use dolls, we use knitted breasts, etc., just to demonstrate. And the partners are also encouraged to come along as well, because it's not just the mother and how they can support mums with their breastfeeding journey, because as we were saying, it's not easy. So getting that across in the antenatal period is really important, because yes, we all say it's all natural. This mummies may never have done it, babies certainly never done it. They may have to suck all of those reflex, but when you've got a baby wriggling and arms around everywhere, trying to get a baby latched on, especially if it's crying, is quite difficult. So that's where certainly the midwives at Doctors Hospital and Health City come in, and we ask all the questions, and it doesn't matter how silly they are. We've probably heard them before, so it's never a silly question. Ask your questions. Different positioning. We talk about positioning: lying down, sitting up, leaning forward, leaning back. There's so much that people need to learn because it's not just sitting there within your arms and a big pillow in front of you. Feeding cues, all of that. So we take, I don't know what Health City does, we play videos so that they can see it, etc. So, yeah. So there's a lot there that we actually cater for antenatally.
Absolutely. And then, of course, the support continues after delivery as well. So our nurses and midwives will provide one-on-one guidance during those first feeds. We help with, like you said, positioning, attachment, recognising feeding cues, and teaching all of our mums and dads, that these are the different types of cries that the newborn goes through, and just building parents' confidence. I think that's just really important before they go home.
Yeah, and we actually follow Baby Friendly Initiative as well. So there's like 10 steps. It's that WHO and UNICEF. So we actually follow the 10 steps for that. So yeah, I mean, most of our midwives are actually practiced in that. So that's really, really important as well, that we all together, all of our antenatals, all of our maternity wards and everything, get together at things like this, the breastfeeding support conference, so that we can all offer the same information. So there's not loads of different information. Mums often say that, don't they? Oh, I was told this or I was told that, and oh, that's not what someone else said to me. So that's important as well. So.
If you have a question you'd like to ask of our guests, you're welcome to do it. The number is to call 1-800-534-8255. That's courtesy of Flo. You can also reach the studio on 949-8037, 949-6990, or WhatsApp 925-3261. Do a lot of young mothers take advantage of the support that you give?
From the Cayman Islands Breastfeeding Support?
Yeah, or from the hospitals.
Yeah, they do. A lot of young mothers, they want to learn.
Just get a little closer to that mic. Just bring it up close.
We have a decent turnout at our antenatal classes. A lot of young mothers want to learn more about breastfeeding and want to be prepared. They do their reading and ask questions. So they do have that positive attitude towards it. And as Susan pointed out, they do start off well in the hospital, but after discharge, I think a lot of other factors come into play, including getting back to work. If they have to join back work at 3 months, that sort of interferes with the continuity. But I think the Cayman Island Breastfeeding Support Group and the Milk Bar, they do a really good job because there are these informal gatherings where they can get together and clear up their doubts, talk to each other. That really boosts it encourages them to keep continuing with it.
Yeah. And I think one thing as well is so many moms start off wanting to feed, and then along the way, the reasons why they stop feeding it actually all can be linked back to a lack of support, whether that's just not having, the right information at the right time, or not having enough practical support or even emotional support. So that's part of why this year with the Breastfeeding Conference, our theme is all about how do we build up that support, because it's not all just on the mom, and it's not just about her choosing to breastfeed. It's about her having the support to be able to do it.
So if a young mother finds herself in that kind of situation, like, oh my God, I don't know what to do, how do they reach out to you and get some help?
They can contact the Cayman Islands Breastfeeding Support Group. They can email cibreastfeeding@gmail.com, or I believe all of the maternity wards send out.
We give leaflets out on discharge.
Leaflets
that's got all the contact information of who to call.
The International Board Certified Lactation Consultant list, including their numbers and email IDs for any teleconsultations, any home visits if required.
And they can reach out to the hospital as well, back to the midwives that's cared for them. So,
is lactation consultation, is that something that a lot of women need?
I would say every mom who's planning to breastfeed, or maybe even moms who aren't planning to breastfeed, because every mom who gives birth will make milk, and needs to know what to do with that milk.
Yeah, I mean, what is that, the consultation about?
What happens in a consultation?
Yeah.
It depends if it's prenatal, which is before birth or after birth. So if it's prenatal, that's usually more about education, and that's, I think, what they offer at Doctors Hospital in Health City. If it's after she's given birth, that's usually it's to help if there's some kind of problem. So maybe it will be helping with pain, or it will be with helping to latch the baby, or helping the mom feel more reassured. There's often a lot of concerns about milk supply, which often is just needs a lot of reassurance, or we can see if there's really a problem. But that tends to be kind of what happens in a lactation consultation.
And making sure that the mums know, because a lot of women have seen older babies out there with bottles, okay, and they're looking at 30, 40, 50 mils in a bottle, and they go, my baby, I'm not making enough milk. So, but your baby's tummy only will take 6, 10, 20 mils. But mums are looking at these massive quantities, but breastfed babies don't actually need that amount. And it's reassuring mums that they're not going to get, well, some actually do, some get quite a lot of milk, and they express and store it. But others, it's a supply and demand, as we say. You know, the more you breastfeed your baby, the more milk you get. So it's for all of us here supporting the mums. It's reassuring them what to look out for, that your baby's getting enough milk. Are they weeing? Are they pooing? Are they sleeping? You know, all of those things is actually you're doing a good job. You know, everyone wants to be told they're doing a good job, don't they? And, you know, if we've got good signs in those babies, and just reassuring mums with, say, just tweak that position, or, well, have you tried lying down? Or, as I say, the rugby hold, I think you guys call it the football hold here. But, you know, encouraging them at different positions. So all of those things, some mums have no idea that, oh, can I do it like that? Yeah. Is it comfortable? Yeah. Is it more comfortable? Do it like that then. So, yeah.
All right, time to take another break. We'll be right back.
Accidents and illnesses can strike without warning. Ouch! When it comes to urgent care, every second counts. At Doctors Hospital, we have a dedicated team of experienced doctors and nursing staff available to you 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Don't waste time in an overcrowded emergency room when you need urgent care. Whether it's a broken bone, a severe infection, or a sudden illness, trust in Doctors Hospital's unwavering dedication to providing the best immediate care. For complete urgent care when you need it the most, choose Doctors Hospital, located in Georgetown, 16 Middle Road.
Cineco's parametric insurance after hurricanes is now available for motor policies. Fixed automatic payouts cover incidental vehicle expenses like fuel, cleanup, and minor repairs. No claims, no damage required. $200 for comprehensive policies or $100 for third-party policies. Available exclusively through Cineco and included with all new motor insurance policies and upon renewal for current policies. Visit cineco.ky today. Cineco, keeping Cayman covered.
Looking for fresh, healthy food that's full of flavor? Then you've got to visit Kirk Market. Our dishes are made with fresh, high-quality ingredients. Enjoy vibrant mixed greens or satisfying pasta salads. Or try one of our delicious grill options like blackened chicken, spicy beef steak, or grilled salmon. Looking for something light and flavorful? We've got sushi rolls and poke bowls prepared daily. And don't forget to explore a hot bar or Billy Fresh salad at the salad bar. Stop by Kirk Market today for breakfast, lunch, or dinner and taste the difference. Eat well, live well with Kirk Market.
Wouldn't it have been grand if you had purchased land 30 years ago? It may not be 2020, but a perfect vision has never been more clear. Kim and Brack and Little Cayman, poised for growth with an eye on the future. Your land, your history, your future. Discover all that our sister islands have to offer.
Think vaping is just a cloud? Think again. Vaping is affecting young people across the Cayman Islands, and now you have a chance to be part of the conversation. The Ministry of Health, Environment and Sustainability is asking young people to share their views on proposed changes to tobacco and vaping laws. Learn about the proposals and make your voice heard, because the choices we make today help shape the Cayman Islands we live in tomorrow. Log on to publicconsultation.gov.ky. The consultation opens on the 21st of August.
Radio Cayman's Talk Today. What is on your mind, Cayman?
Welcome back, and this is Breastfeeding Week, so we're talking about the importance of breastfeeding. And as part of the week, you're going to be having a conference.
So the conference is in October 1st and 2nd.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what is going to happen at this conference?
So this is a conference for anybody who wants to learn how to better support breastfeeding families. But specifically, we are having is for healthcare professionals and for parents. We'll have continuing education hours for healthcare professionals, and we're having a parents workshop on October 2nd on the Friday. And we've got an international speaker, Christy Jo Hendricks, who will be coming, as well as a lot of local presenters as well, which is really exciting because we haven't had local presenters before, but I think we have 10 this year, all who are going to be sharing about breastfeeding. And it will be a great opportunity, to learn how to better support breastfeeding families. I know you were going to tell us about one of the highlights.
Yes, so the one session that we are particularly excited about is the presentation by Dr. Anita Rao and midwife Victoria from Health City, who will share the practical experiences and insights from the front line of the maternity care in their session. It's titled Lessons from the Delivery Room. So, their presentation would highlight how they go about the golden hour after birth, which includes immediate skin-to-skin contact between the mother and the baby, and initiating breastfeeding within the first hour as a standard practice. Even during the cesarean births, babies are placed directly on the mother's bare chest in the operating room whenever possible. This helps keeps the babies warm and calm while encouraging the instinctive breast crawl, which is where newborns use their natural senses to nuzzle and find the breast and begin feeding. Research has consistently shown that initiating breastfeeding during the golden hour is associated with higher rates of continued breastfeeding at 4 months and 6 months postpartum. And even for the mothers, breastfeeding in the first hour stimulates oxytocin, which ultimately reduces postpartum bleeding. So it'll be a wonderful talk about how we execute evidence-based maternity care and how it can improve outcomes for both mothers and babies. And Health City is also a proud diamond sponsor for this conference.
So that's an example of one of the topics, but other topics that we'll have, we'll be talking about the public health impact of breastfeeding, breastfeeding in the NICU and delivery room, breast cancer detection while breastfeeding, local breastfeeding research, and we'll also have an interactive panel discussion with a few local experts where we will discuss how to support families through pregnancy to breastfeeding.
Now, you mentioned skin-to-skin contact.
Yeah.
That is something that is very important in developing that relationship with baby and mother.
Yeah. It's very important for the mother and child bonding. Also because it keeps the baby warm, it soothes the baby, it really calms down their heart rate and breathing, because a mother's smell and voice is what the child is used to and that the baby recognizes. So it's really important that we get the baby on the mother's chest, provided the baby and mother are both doing fine and are stable.
And there's a lot of there's a lot of research linking early skin to skin with positive breastfeeding outcomes.
Yeah, because say that the warmth, the temperature, instigating the breastfeeding. So we do the non-separation as well in OR, and the vast majority of our babies that are born via caesarean section do actually breastfeed while they're in there. So mum's still on the operating table. Their heart rate and respirations, blood pressure all go down as well because they've now got their baby on them. The baby stays with mum throughout the whole journey in the hospital. So there's no separation at all as long as mum and baby stay well. So it's really important. And breast milk, they've likened to the smell of breast milk to the smell of amniotic fluid as well. So it's going to be right. Okay, give me that food. So that's we want to get that there.
You want to teach them right away where the food is.
Absolutely, yeah. And they crawl. We've got videos and things. You can see these babies. We don't do anything. We just watch them, and they will crawl to the breast without our help. But some need a little bit of guidance. So, yeah.
Food's a great motivator too.
Absolutely, for everyone. Yeah.
And what was it? The golden hour.
Yes.
You want this to happen?
Golden hour, yes.
So that's within the first hour of birth?
First hour, yes. Studies have shown if you initiate breastfeeding in the first hour, they have higher continuation rates at 4 months and 6 months postpartum.
So you just get them off to a good start.
Yeah, and that's the whole thing. Certainly with here is the health, as they say, the health of the islands. And if we can start those babies' health off with breastfeeding, it leads them into good stead. We know that there's a massive list of advantages to mums and babies. Mums reduce risk of premenopausal breast cancers, ovarian cancers. Babies, it reduces reduces the risk of like diabetes, obesity, or heart problems, blood pressure in later life. So if we can start that now, at that very beginning of life, then we're actually helping the island's health as well, which is so important because, if we can do that now, we're going to reduce increase good health.
So breastfed babies grow up to be healthier adults?
That's what the evidence is showing. Yeah, there's research loads of research out there. It might be controversial. IQ, totally breastfed babies do have a higher IQ, lower BMIs at a certain age. They are things like all childhood illnesses, chest coughs, ear infections and things. We know that they are lower. It reduces the risk of sudden infant death, cot death, they know as cot death. So breastfeeding, because mums and babies are stimulated and they want to feed, they feed a little bit more frequently in the early days than if they were using bottle or formula. But there's so much that people don't realise, the benefits to both mum and baby. Everyone focuses on baby, but there's lots for mum as well. And ultimately, who doesn't want their babies and children to be healthy?
Now, Carolyn, I know you wanted to thank your sponsors on air for the sponsors of the conference.
Yes.
So why don't we get that in now before we're too short on time?
Yes, I would love to just take a moment to thank our sponsors, our diamond sponsors, the Ministry of Health, DART, and Health City Cayman Islands, our gold sponsors, Walkers and Doctors Hospital, our silver sponsors, Ocean Med, Cayman Clinic, CG Wellness, and Rainbow Photos, and our other sponsors as well. We are really grateful because by sponsoring the conference, these sponsors are being a valued part of the community effort that it takes to support breastfeeding. So thank you all.
So when in October is this going to be?
It will be Thursday, October 1st and Friday, October 2nd.
And where's it going to be held?
At the Marriott Hotel.
So is this just open, a wide open conference to the public?
Yep, it's free to attend, and anyone who would like to attend can find the details to register on our Facebook, that's just the Cayman Islands Breastfeeding Support Group, or on Instagram at CIBFSG, or you can email us at cibreastfeeding@gmail.com.
And you're going to have workshops.
Yeah, so we'll have...
What can you tell us about the workshops?
We have a few different discussions that will be helpful, especially for parents, and those will be on the Friday morning and I think going into Friday afternoon. And one of those will include an interactive panel discussion, which will have some of professionals from Cayman, a doula, a midwife, and we'll be talking about pre- and postnatal wellness and lactation. And it should be helpful for mothers to get information, and dads as well. We really encourage dads to come because, like Sue mentioned, dads are such an important part of the breastfeeding journey as well.
I see local breastfeeding research listed here. What kind of research has been done locally?
I'm actually going to be presenting that talk along with Dr.
Ask the right person.
Yeah, along with Romina. This is a study that it's an informal study. It's a survey that we had done earlier, I think it was last year, from 2010 to 2025. Moms in Cayman could answer if they had given birth between those years. And we are taking it from more of a qualitative lens. So some of the moms, they submitted, they talked about like why breastfeeding did work for them or what they found supportive, and they also talked about why, if they didn't breastfeed or if breastfeeding was difficult for them, why. And so we're going to be putting all of this together to show some common themes about what is and isn't working in Cayman for breastfeeding, and to help. We'll be giving that talk on the first day of the conference to really help show why it's important for us to be at the conference, and how the information we learn in the conference can better support our families in Cayman.
And I see also breast cancer detection while breastfeeding.
Yeah, so we'll have, I believe the Cayman Islands, the Breast Cancer Foundation.
Yeah.
They will be giving a presentation as well.
So is that something that happens during breastfeeding, that a mother will discover a lump or something?
There are breast changes during pregnancy and lactation, and it's a good time to, I know it sounds bizarre, a conversation, but it's a good time. So certainly antenatally discussing it, but a good time for a woman to find out what do their breasts feel like, what do they look like, what does colostrum milk look like when it's excreted, but also just knowing those changes of their breast. And it may be when they've finished breastfeeding, or whatever is happening, however long they are, that they actually get to know what's normal or what to look out for. Well, actually, that little lump there, is it mastitis that can be fixed with a bit of repositioning, a bit of a cool compress, take down inflammation, or is that actually abnormal? So, you're going to be feeding quite frequently, so you should hopefully be able to notice those changes. But we give out the little cards when mums get discharged. So even if they don't see it at the beginning, later on, this is how we actually check our breasts. So it's important, and they are picking up young women, some that's just had babies that have got the early stages of breast cancer, so they're catching it early and treating it early. So that is really, really important that mums do know, is this normal or not? So
real quick, how do mothers reach out to you if they need some help, make contact?
They can just message us on Instagram or Facebook. On Instagram, we're at CIBFSG, or on Facebook, the Cayman Islands Breastfeeding Support Group. They can also send us an email at cibreastfeeding@gmail.com.
Well, Karen Farley of the Cayman Islands Breastfeeding Support Group, Sue Warwick of Doctors Hospital, and Dr. Mohini Sachdeva and Alexandra Douglas of Health City, thank you for joining me this afternoon.
Thank you for having us.
It's 1 o'clock. Time to check in with the newsroom.
Radio station. Radio Cayman is the voice of the Cayman Islands. From Radio Cayman's newsroom, this is Headlines. Local, regional, international news.
The Headline News is brought to you by Kirk Market and Health Services Authority.
With your latest headlines, I'm Elizabeth Charles. The Cayman Islands Center for Business Development is running a youth pitch competition for residents aged 14 to 24. In a post this week, the center invites solo entrants or teams of 2 to submit an online application and pitch deck by September 11th, 2026. The top 5 finalists will pitch live at the Small Business Expo on October 1st at Hotel Indigo, competing for cash prizes of $2,500, $1,500, and $1,000 plus business advisory services. Full details and the application form are available through the Center for Business Development's website at cicbd.gov.ky. In international news, Reuters says investors piled into United States swap futures on Monday after a sharp rise in Treasury yields, as mortgage investors scrambled to hedge against further increases in borrowing costs. The surge pushed volume tied to the secured overnight financing rate to more than 167,000 contracts, a record for a non-roll day and far above recent averages. In other news, Beijing is launching a global hunt for unpaid taxes on overseas assets held by wealthy Chinese. In a report published this week, the Financial Times says banks have been told to review clients' offshore investments, and some accounts are being frozen until capital gains taxes going back years are paid. Those are the latest headlines. I'm Elizabeth Charles.
Radio Cayman. More news available at www.radiocayman.gov.ky. Check out our social media pages: Facebook, YouTube, X, formerly Twitter, Radio Cayman Headline News.
Looking for fresh, healthy food that's full of flavor? Then you've got to visit Kirk Market. Our dishes are made with fresh, high-quality ingredients. Enjoy vibrant mixed greens or satisfying pasta salads. Or try one of our delicious grill options like blackened chicken, spicy beef steak, or grilled salmon. Looking for something light and flavorful? We've got sushi rolls and poke bowls prepared daily. And don't forget to explore a hot bar or Billy Fresh salad at the salad bar. Stop by Kirk Market today for breakfast, lunch, or dinner and taste the difference. Eat well, live well with Kirk Market.
HSA's orthopedic clinic has relocated to the second floor of the Smith Road Medical Center. Our dedicated team of highly skilled orthopedic surgeons treat conditions ranging from spine to ankle injuries in adult and pediatric patients. We offer minimally invasive procedures from ligament reconstruction to hip and knee replacement. If you have experienced an injury due to sports or day-to-day activities, call 949-8600 and schedule an appointment with HSA's orthopedic clinic, now located at the Smith Road Medical Center.
Radio Cayman is pleased to feature this special Sister Islands historical vignette brought to you by the Ministry of District Administration and Lands. Explore your history, explore your land, explore your Sister Islands.
The Spellman McLaughlin home, a historic residence in Creek, Cayman Brac, stands atop a small hill along Creek Road. Constructed from 1926 to 1930 under the meticulous supervision of Spellman McLaughlin. The home was built using timber from Mobile, Alabama, and Pensacola, Florida, and features unique architectural elements such as a 3-gable roof and full-section log post. The home, designed with 8 exterior rooms around a central dining room, was a refuge during the devastating 1932 hurricane, sheltering 130 people and remaining largely intact despite the storm's destruction. Today, the home, which received the Award of Distinction for the Preservation of Historic Places in 1999, has been restored by Dan and Lisa Scott, who replaced the zinc roof with original cedar shingles, preserving its historic charm.
Radio Cayman is pleased to feature this special Sister Islands historical vignette brought to you by the Ministry of District Administration and Lands. Explore your history, explore your land, explore your Sister Islands.
Housing in the Cayman Islands affects families, renters, first-time buyers, seniors, and vulnerable residents. The Cayman Islands Public and Affordable Housing Policy and 10-year strategic plan provide a coordinated framework to improve housing access, increase supply, and guide phased implementation over time. Public presentations are being developed and will provide opportunities for the community to learn more about the policy and plan. Learn more and get the facts at gov.ky/housing plan. A message from the Ministry of Planning, Lands, Agriculture, Housing, and Infrastructure.
Radio Cayman's Talk Today. What is on your mind, Cayman?
Welcome back, and taking a look at the weather here. It's a hazy afternoon, a hot afternoon. I'm not getting the current conditions for some reason on the National Weather Service website. We'll just say it's hot. It's very hot and hazy, light haze. So that should cover it, right? Let's take a look here at the forecast. For today, it's partly cloudy and hazy skies with a 30% chance of morning showers. For the afternoon, I guess, possibility of showers, yeah. Tonight, definitely cloudy skies, becoming cloudy at times with 60% of showers and possible thunder. So, going outside tonight, might get showered on. Showers may become locally heavy at times. Temperatures in the low 80s, winds out of the east to northeast at 5 to 10 knots with higher gusts in and around showers. Seas will be moderate, waves running at 3 to 5 feet. Looking at the tides, the next high tide is at 3:47, low tide at 9:46 tonight. Sunset at 6:58. Sun setting a little earlier now. And the outlook is for partly cloudy skies with cloudy spells during the afternoon or evening showers due to daytime heating, and overnight or early morning showers due to moisture moving off of Cuba. And let's see what the National Hurricane Center is saying here. Should be all clear because they said, and the same today, tropical cyclone activity not expected during the next 7 days for the Atlantic Basin and Caribbean at least. Pacific, that's El Nino territory, and the hurricanes are all over the Pacific now, right? And, well, we just finished a great discussion there on breastfeeding. And, you know, I was telling them after we finished, you know, it was for Caymanians of my generation, breastfeeding was what was done. You didn't have to question it, whether it's formula or breastfeeding. Yeah, I was a breastfed baby, and grew up to be a breastfed man. Can't get any milk though, for some reason. Keep trying. We have a caller on the line. Good afternoon. You're on the air with Talk Today. Hello, are you there?
Good afternoon, Charlo.
Yes, good afternoon. How's it going?
Okay, man. I see what we were talking about yesterday about Cayman being in a bowl.
Yeah.
For you to see exactly what I'm talking about, that is, it's facts what I'm talking about. If you're able to, just take a trip out by off a turtle farm, a few miles out, going towards 12-mile bank. And on your way back in, you'll see exactly what I'm saying is the truth and is facts.
But you don't think it might be an optical illusion?
No, that ain't no optical illusion.
Because the horizon can play tricks on you.
It's not. No. It's not only me that saw that.
Yeah, well, I would say it's not just you, but that's how it appears.
No, I never went out. No, I never went out there by myself. So it wasn't just me that saw it. Yeah, so everybody on the boat saw it, and it wasn't once that I went out there either. So and first time I did go there was in 1981. It was the first time I went out on the 12-mile bank. I went out with Mr. Floyd Bush from West Bay.
Yeah.
My daddy, Mr. Floyd Bush's daughter, Pilar. The four of us went. The first time I ever went to the 12-mile bank. And I don't know if you believe the Bible and that everything in the Bible is the truth that is written in the Bible. But when Moses led the people and they found themselves by the Red Sea, and there was nowhere to cross, and Jesus and God opened the waters, parted the sea, that the people were able to walk across on dry ground. And Jesus and God kept the water up there like a wall until his people passed through. And then when the Egyptians tried to follow them, they let the water back down and drowned them all. So that's the same thing that is happening now. When you ask me, well, how does the water stay there? Well, that's how the water stays there. It's the mercy of Jesus Christ and God Almighty that keeps it there the same way that they did in the days of Moses. Thank you.
Well, hold on. Why say optical illusion? I mean, when you're out at sea and depending on conditions and so forth, you can have optical illusions on the horizon. I mean, I've seen pictures where and even the camera is seeing this illusion, right? That a ship in the distance looks as if it is floating in the air. That is just because of the atmospheric conditions, whatever. The ship will look as if it's not on the water, that it's up above the water. I mean, those things can happen, and everybody that's there sees it. But you don't think that was possible in what you've been seeing? Oh, he's gone? Okay. But yeah, I mean that we are in a bowl. I can't bring my mind to understand that. Because if you're in a bowl and you got an ocean around you, seems like the water's going to come in. But, what we see, do we believe it or not? It's like being on a desert and seeing things in the distance because of the heat and so forth. But optical illusions on the horizons, do occur. So I just looked up something. There's one called a fata morgana, a complex mirage where warm air sits above a layer of cold air. The temperature differences bends light like a lens, making distant objects like ships, icebergs, or coastlines look stretched, distorted, or like they are floating in the sky. That's one of them that I was talking about. So it is possible to have, mirage at sea, an optical illusion. But I guess you have to be there to say whether it looks real or is it an optical illusion. We do have open line from here on till 2:30, so you can pick up the phone, give me a call, and we have some callers on the line now. So let's take those. Good afternoon. You're on the air with Talk Today.
Good afternoon.
Hi there.
You're on a busy day already?
Well, we had a good discussion about breastfeeding.
Mm-hmm.
Optical illusions, or really Cayman is in a bowl?
I don't know what we're in right now. I think we're in many bowls. With a capital S on it. No disrespect.
A Super Bowl?
To what you're trying to say. Nah, not a Super Bowl. No. I want to run a couple of things by you. But I do not want you to ask me, please, where is the MPs for what I'm going to say. I am hoping that what I say, it gets out there and something will be done. All right?
Okay.
So please don't ask me where the MPs are.
You have the floor. Or you have the air.
Yeah.
You have the air.
Up here in Newlands, through the North Sun Estate gates, lots of residents down there, and down there was always a water problem to a degree because they got canals down there, and the canals are always rising and so forth and so forth.
Mm-hmm.
Now, we have had governments after governments for this Newlands, and these people that live up there is being flooded out practically with salt water.
That's for these king tides that we've been having?
I guess so. Partial of the yard, the roads.
Yeah.
People have to walk to get out and in. There's no sidewalks. People are driving their cars through the salt water until it decide it's going to dry up or whatever the case may be. So what I'm trying to say is it needs to be looked into because there's a serious problem up there in the North Sunny State with this water. It's either they do some more drains in the roads or they go and build some walls where they see where it's necessary to build these walls because people cannot go and buy a car every 2 years because under the bottom is rot out with salt water.
Well,
I mean, Charles, raw salt water, not even mixed with rain.
Yeah.
And it doesn't dry up as quick as rainwater does. That's the hurtful part about the situation. And by the time it started to dry up, then I guess there's another king tide again coming in. I know you probably can't control it the fullest of the fullest, but I mean, I'm quite sure that something can be done to say these people who has to walk in and out of that area and who's driving a car in this salt water. Like I said, there's no sidewalks for them to walk on, hopscotching, trying not to get their foot wet to get where they got to go. I mean, how can we have a government and this thing is not being looked into for years now? But that is that. I want to say here in Newlands, Moonbeam, Devonshire, and the whole works up in this area. We got roads with potholes. We got garbage out of control. The place needs some more speed bumps. The mosquitoes are eating us alive. You know,
they got some big ones there.
You know, and when they hit you, man, and then we need some cameras. We need some sidewalks. And then we got these people up here who's walking their dog and doing their thing on the road and leaving it there. You can't even come out here and do a morning walk or an evening walk because then the stuff that is on the side of the road in the bush or not in the bush, a car is coming, flying, cars are speeding down in here. So you're going to step off of the road to go into the grass and something's there waiting for you or in somebody's yard. I mean, I don't understand what's going on with up here in Newlands. You know, I called a mosquito research the other day, and they said that there was already scheduled for outer areas going north side and east end and going east. Put it that way.
Yeah, I guess everybody's calling them.
So I said, well, I heard what they tell me. Oh, I have to schedule guys to the next day. I said, really? And that's one. How many mosquito research? How many trucks do they have, and how? Cayman is too small for us to have the amount of mosquitoes that we have right now. If that mosquito research got 5 trucks, they should be out here doing their job. They're gonna tell me she gonna have to schedule me now for Thursday. That was last week, Wednesday. Today weekend they came out the Thursday, and I said, well, Miss, you want to tell me that those guys gonna cross Newlands and they can't pop in there for 2 minutes and then continue going east? I don't think so. But they came in the next night, the Thursday night.
Well, they did come.
One they came through my road and went about their business and haven't seen them since. And you want to hear something? Some parts of here in Newlands got mosquitoes and some parts don't. So I don't know how that is possible. When you're here walking in the morning, 6:30, 7 o'clock, some parts of these roads have mosquitoes and some don't. So it got to be something harboring the mosquitoes. I don't know if it's the garbage, the way that people is putting their garbage out. I mean, you want to tell me, Mr. Childs, you got a pamper box and a cornflake box, and you're going to put that alongside of the road for the garbage man to pick up? They got to have some respect for our sanitation guys, man. They are human.
So they just put the pamper box, I guess, with pampers in it?
And then turn on, put garbage in the pamper box and leave it out by the garbage for garbage to be picked up.
Oh,
These people need to respect these sanitation guys.
Got a garbage can.
You know, and I don't say we need to keep our garbage in our backyard and bring it out the day that the garbage truck is coming. It's a disgrace. And then coming up here for Red Bay, who's in charge of Red Bay area. We got Frank Hall Homes down here on the highway, Adventure area. Frank Hall Homes.
Mm-hmm.
Someone they cut the hedge in and left it right on the side of the road. It's been in almost over 3 weeks. And it's drying. It's going to probably start flying here and there sooner or later. And to see that these people are not taking care of their areas. And I know when I called you some months ago, and talking about West Bay and Northside, someone called and said some crap about in other words, like I am jealous. I'm gonna tell you something. I ain't jealous of nothing. But if you're in the house there to do what they got to do to keep us nice and clean and organized, I'm probably using the wrong words. They have to do it. Northside can get Decatur. They getting this place built up. West Bay getting their place built up. Barton Town ain't getting nothing. Newlands ain't getting nothing. And don't mention Georgetown. And I see some places where some of these people live, these government people, pasture up the road is recapped. Pasture up the road is recapped. And here we are in the depth of Newlands, in Frank Hall homes, with potholes. I mean, these people need to do better. We don't have no sidewalks. We ain't got no cameras, and we got break-ins down here kind of regular now. People is coming into the neighborhood, breaking into people's car. I've been up here over 35 years and not experiencing what I'm experiencing right now. This is crazy. This is ludicrous.
I know you said don't ask you about the MP, but have you tried to let them know what's going on?
I'm not going to answer that question either. I just come out here now and broadly straight it
Yeah.
And I'm quite sure you're going to read between lines. So I'm going to leave them right there. And if they hear this or they see it or what the case may be, but you have to know that I open my mouth if I'm calling here.
Oh, yeah.
For you guys, for help. You understand? I think it is time that Newlands get something done, especially our people who is living around these canals and got to drive their cars and walk in salt water every couple of days up here in Newlands, and our roads is full of holes. And we need some cameras, and we need more speed bumps because people is taking up in the back here for a real racetrack. Now, how it's going to be done, I don't know. But if you can't do what you're supposed to do, get off the pot and give the pot to somebody else.
Well, hopefully they're listening.
Well, I hope so. Thank you. Go ahead.
All right, go ahead. You have a good afternoon.
All right, thanks. And bye-bye. Good.
We have another caller there. Good afternoon. You're on the air with Talk Today. Hello.
Hey, Chalo, how you doing, man?
All right. Been a little while. I haven't heard from you. Of course, I've been away, but
it's been a long time, man.
So what's up?
Man, Chalo, I tell you, I had a little scare a couple months ago, man.
Yeah?
Yeah. I had a problem with my stomach. And that was affecting my heart,
Mm-hmm.
So I had to go down to the hospital, man, and stay 4 days inside there.
So you're better now?
Well, everything feels better right now, man.
Good.
But you know, Charlie, like I said, when I born, I never born with the best of lungs. And 60 odd years of smoking, never really done that no good.
Yeah.
So whatever nature throws at me now, I really would have to take it, my friend. Yeah, man. But Charlie, one thing I could say, I don't know. Everybody have their money in their fridge to do with it, what they want to do with it. But I've been hearing some bad reports about how they treat patients in America, which doesn't surprise me, you know what I mean? Because this is the same thing, all about money. But I tell you, I never really seen woman work for many years the way that I looked at these women in our hospital for them 4 days shallow. I mean, you got the young Caymans there who are not trained or training, and everybody just worked shallow.
So they treated you good.
Yes, 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 yes. Let me tell you. When I have
And this is at Anthony Eden.
yes, I have nothing but praises for that hospital. I mean, a lot of people talk, right? But you gotta experience something. It's better you experience something before you talk. When you gotta fabricate stories and put them on the street and things like that, that's not nice, you know.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's not fair to anybody.
Yeah, man, and I want to say praises to Jamaica for sending some good female, especially female doctors down here to really give us a hand. You understand? Because
I mean, Jamaica didn't send them. I mean,
well, they came from there anyway.
yeah, okay.
So I met two of them. Two of them was my doctors, man, and good doctors, yellow.
Yeah, well, a lot of good doctors come out of Jamaica. University of West Indies, I guess it was School of Medicine. I mean, they produce some first-class doctors.
Yeah, well, it's not all the time that good Jamaican doctors stay in Cayman Islands here. They move on because, they're looking for money. You understand?
Yeah, well, that's what everybody's looking for, I guess.
Yeah, man. Especially when you go to school and work so hard to get an education and come back and,
Oh, yeah, that's a long road to hoe, to become a qualified physician.
Yep. I thought I was hearing something on OC show this morning or your show yesterday or something like that. Talking about if they're getting value for money.
Oh, for the scholarships.
Yeah, that was yesterday.
Yeah, we were talking about that yesterday, yeah.
Yeah. So what, boy, I really don't know how to comment on it though. I mean, as long as we are going on with this thing here, students are going overseas and get this education from university and colleges and things. And come back here and we can't get no jobs. Somebody got to be responsible for that.
Yeah, well, that was part of the article. Was it Woody Foster was saying that we should have a way of tracking the students, and we give them the money to go get an education. When they come back, they should be still shepherded, along the way to find the job. But some changes have been made, and hopefully that's going to correct that situation, where we know who the graduates are that are going to soon finish school and be returning, and that can be looked at against people applying for a work permit. And you can say, well, we have a graduate coming home next month. He is very qualified to take the job that you're applying this work permit for. Let's wait till he comes home.
Yeah.
As far as I know, that's the kind of coordination that they are aiming to do.
Well, Charlie, you and I could imagine though the mental pain that they're really going through. Our young people, I mean, you and I never had to go through these kind of things.
You mean as far as finding a job?
Yes. Yes, Chalo, because we were young one time. And let me tell you something, Chalo. I had to hustle. I don't know what it was like on your side, really, but I had to hustle, Chalo, to have a shilling. 15 cents. That would have been 1 and 6 into my pocket for chauffeurs and anything else I wanted to buy. Sometimes I was hungry. I had to hustle for it back then.
Yeah, well, 50s, 60s, I mean, not much was going on in Cayman. You know,
That's right.
You just
That's
couldn't
right.
go out and get a
No.
job. There just simply was not a lot of, economic activity going on.
Yes.
That's
yes.
That's why guys went to sea.
Right. Same time.
And then things started to change, right?
Yeah, but who were left here, like me, we had to hustle.
Yeah.
You understand? We didn't, thank God, we didn't really take the wrong road for it, breaking in people's houses and robbing people and things like that. We hustled every day. You understand? But it is a bad feeling, Shallow, even when you are a little youth and you not got no money. Because I felt that from them times. A little youth. I see everybody spending pennies and whatnot.
Well, Robert, sometimes when you hear people talk about, the good old days, you have to wonder if they were really there.
Yeah, just hear so. They hear in them stories, Shadow, they really never live them. You understand? Yeah, but Shadow, like I say, but thank God we are breastfed Caymanians, and maybe that has something to do with our physical strength today. Maybe it has something to do with the length of life that we're having. True, we were breastfed.
That's what the lady said. Breastfed babies are healthier than babies that are put on the bottle right away.
I use the American powder, but my boy is born healthy too as well. You understand? But they had a spell of American powder. I think
the formula.
The mother breastfed them as well.
Well, listen, I got to take a break.
Yeah, man. I'll talk to you next time.
All right, good to talk to you.
Yeah.
Take care. We'll take a break, be right back. I think we got a caller. Just hang in there for me.
Did you know that Doctors Hospital provides urgent care services 24 hours a day, 7 days a week? And Doctors Hospital's urgent care physicians have access to the most advanced MRI and CT imaging in the Caribbean, providing reliable diagnostics when you need it most. When you need quality urgent care for an illness or injury, Doctors Hospital is here for you 24/7. Whether it's a migraine, chest or abdominal pain, shortness of breath, broken bones, or another urgent need, Doctors Hospital at the top of Walker's Road. Urgent care right now.
Explore your history. Explore your land. Explore your sister islands. The ultimate staycation experience. Your culture, your freedom. The land that time forgot isn't gone. It's your sister islands.
Discover all that our sister islands have to offer.
Hey, new drivers, don't just drive, drive smart. Cynical and Inspire Cayman's Safe Driver program will show you how. Get real-life simulator training and classroom sessions to help you gain experience, stay alert, and avoid accidents. Learn to recognize risk, manage fatigue, and make smart choices behind the wheel. Certified participants may even pay less for Cynical motor insurance. Learn more and register at cynical.ky. Cynical, keeping Cayman covered.
The government is inviting the public to share their views on proposed changes to tobacco and vaping laws. The proposal aims to protect our young people, strengthen vaping rules, and address concerns about disposable vapes. We want to hear from parents, educators, businesses, and the wider community. The consultation opens on the 21st of August. Log on to publicconsultation.gov.ky to help shape the future of tobacco and vaping policy in the Cayman Islands.
Radio Cayman's Talk Today. What is on your mind, Cayman?
Welcome back, and let's go to the phone lines. Good afternoon. You're on the air with Talk Today.
Good afternoon, Uncle Charlo. It's good to have you back.
Well, thank you. How you been?
I've been okay, and let me tell you, your guest host filled your position pretty well.
Oh, of course.
They can't replace you in your hour like, people can't replace Mr. Connor in his hour.
Flattery will get you everywhere.
And you look well rested, so I hope you had a good time and enjoyed your time away.
I did. I don't know about the rest part. We take these vacations saying we're going to rest, and we don't.
Yeah, boy, I tell you, we had your guest host under heavy pressure there while you were gone. So I'm just tuning. I don't know what the topic is. I know you had some.
Oh, hey, this and that, whatever.
Yeah. So I want to talk about a post on a Facebook group this morning.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to say what group, but there was a post pertaining to Radio Cayman, and I'll just quickly read it to you. It's very short. And it says, does anyone know why Radio Cayman has their morning news nearly without fail, starting with a sexual assault on a child, court case, ? Let me repeat that. Does anyone know why Radio Cayman has their... Actually, it was one day ago, so that would have been yesterday. Does anyone know why Radio Cayman has their morning news nearly without fail, starting with a sexual assault on a child, court case, ? So I wanted to bring this up this morning with Mr. Connor, but, there was some particular topics that were being discussed there, but I wanted to put it out here. I don't know how many people are listening on the radio. Most people like to listen to you guys on the radio. I see 27 people watching. So I wanted to put that comment on this group on Facebook out there to the public forum, because I cannot for the love of me understand why someone would make that comment. But I want to say to Radio Cayman,
if it was true, that would mean that there's a lot of sexual assault on children. Just 5 days a week, that's the lead story.
I agree with you, Mr. Glidden, but let me say to you, for the love of me, I don't understand why someone would even concoct that thought in their mind to ask such a question, and on such a public platform, which comprises probably about half of the members of the platform are Caymanians, right?
Mm-hmm.
I did a little research. This person is not originally a Caymanian, but has been here. I guess this year would make 26 years.
Okay.
Because the post that I saw said they've been here 23 years. Now, they do go on to say that they love listening to Mr. Scott from Cayman Brac. Whenever he calls in the show, they enjoy listening to him. Where could they hear more about, what he talks about and hear him talking? I want to say, now we've been having a lot of issues with people coming into the island. And I want to say this respectfully. We have always had people emigrating to our islands. Immigrants migrated here, found locals here, and the islands developed. If someone comes to our island, now this to me is worse than the couple that left a note on the Caymanian gentleman truck this week. I don't know if you've seen that, but it sounds like you have based on your little chuckle. Yes,
I saw that. Yeah,
this to me is
a huge truck.
Absolutely, yes, and it's a nice truck too. There's nothing small about Cayman for that truck being here, but we'll leave that for another time. It is absolutely deplorable, and the writer is a female. I don't know if she have children, but it is beyond me why someone would even think to come up with a question like that. In the context of us as a community publicly exposing these types of matters in our Cayman Islands. I don't understand it. And this is, again, we have to go back and think, what type of people comes into our islands and the mindset that they have? You're talking about the post says child sexual assault and having a problem with our national radio station reporting without fail. You know when they use the expression without fail, what they're trying to say, right? It's a turn off to them. You have to turn on Radio Cayman and hear these reports or the news. I'm going to say to Miss Norma and whoever's in charge at Radio Cayman. Mr. Connor, whenever you guys open your show, if you want to check the court case, the court list, or check Black Box News and so forth on it's a web page on Facebook to see what cases are pending before the courts. Yes, we do have a larger increase in these cases being reported and being investigated and prosecuted, and hands off to the police and every other agency, government agency and private agency that are involved in these investigations for bringing these cases to the court system. Hands off to the victims and their support system and their families for having the courage to come forward to report these situations, these deplorable situations. I don't even want to say the right word I want to say online, but how can someone say something like that and have it on a platform? We really need to look at I don't know how we can do it, because we can't really tell people's personality and character just by accepting them into our islands, right? But we have to get it out there that we do not appreciate the mindset of some of these people who migrate to our country, our islands. In our community, they integrate amongst us, and they have this nasty mindset of talking about our national radio station reporting on what happens to our children. It is absolutely unacceptable, and I can imagine this person has Caymanian status also.
Well, I looked at some of the comments in reply to what that post was showing, and I mean some of the comments made
how did you see the comments? Because
I know there was comments below the picture of they had the video and the person putting the note.
Oh no, I'm talking about the post that I'm talking about. Radio Cayman.
Radio Cayman.
Yes, Radio Cayman reporting.
Yeah. Well, again,
assault.
That's the thing about social media. I mean, it has just opened up to the point where anybody can give an opinion, whether there's any validity to it or not. They can they can say something pretending that it is fact. They can put something up as a fact, not even an opinion. They write it as though it is true, it is the gospel, and people read it. Some people dismiss it. Some people believe it. That's why whenever you see something on social media, you have to say, what's the source of this?
Right.
Is it even worth considering?
Mr. Glidden, many of the people that migrate to the Cayman Islands, they come from countries where they have murders happening, if not every day, sometimes more than once or twice a day, sometimes a few times a week, right? And that makes news, and that's fine. Mr. Scott calls into the radio station, and that's fine. But our national radio station doing our community and our families a justice by reporting cases, not reporting the victims, but reporting the cases so our community can know what a great job our law enforcement are doing and the justice that our children are getting and their families. I don't think it's as much justice as I would like to see, because the tariffs for child sexual assault and sexual assaults on women is way below the standard of what other countries have, but hopefully Cayman will get there eventually. But it is just distasteful that we have people posting these things and they're living in our country. They've been here for 20-something years and made this place their home. They probably have high-ranking officials as their best buddies and eating and drinking and socializing with them. And, to make these posts about it and to make these posts point blank and full stop, and then to make it about why was Radio Cayman without fail. Radio Cayman, you continue to do the great job that you're doing. Continue to report and tell the public when these cases go to court and when they are completed and what the charges are. Anything to do with supporting our children and these horrendous circumstances that they are placed in, because I can tell you.
Well, from what I see, and I mean, I'm not here all day. I come in to do this show and then I depart. But from what I observe and hear on the air, you know, I think our news department does a very good job, particularly in keeping an eye on what's happening in the courts.
You don't have to think about that, Mr. Glidden. The station does a very good job in doing that, and they don't only report on sexual assaults. But what I'm saying to you, I am just letting the public be aware of this post, and I am also saying that these are the types of people that migrate to our country to have that mindset, and especially a female at that. Imagine talking about the radio station as if they don't have a community service mindset, right?
Well, let's not paint everybody that has come to Cayman, you know,
no, I'm not doing
as
that,
with
Mr.
that one brush.
Some of these,
you know.
Right, but I think my verbiage and my wording that I just said over the course of the few minutes, that's why I said we've always had people immigrating to the country, and it's not a problem. Not everybody's like that, and that's why I said, how do we tell the ones that are like that from those who may not be like that? You understand? But we have to be aware of it, because we don't know. Every other country these people go to, I'm sorry to say it, some of these people, they try to go to these little small islands and try to dictate and mandate to people of their own country how they're supposed to behave, how they're supposed to operate. You've been here almost 26 years now by the date of that post in 2024, and you're worried about, you're happy, and if I tell you the other post that they're so happy about Mr. Scott calling from Cayman Brac and all that he talks about, but you're worried about Radio Cayman reporting child sexual assault cases. If Miss Norma can check the court cases before the sun comes up in the morning, and you guys make sure that's the first part of the news, and when you open your shows, you and Mr. Connor, you would be doing a high service to this country. We need to know, and it's about time that these cases are brought to the light, and people know that law enforcement is working diligently and hard, and encouraging families to come forward, encouraging children to have the courage to come forward and report these cases, and we're catching the predators, the disgusting predators. Pedophiles is not a decent word anymore, right? That prey on our children, and to have some people come here and have this mindset. I can't even imagine a Caymanian saying something like that. Anyway, I've been talking a little bit too long, so I'll leave you with that.
I've gone 5 minutes past my break time.
Okay, all right. Bye-bye.
All right, you take care. All right, yes, it's 10 minutes going up to 2. Let's take a break.
Accidents and illnesses can strike without warning. Ouch! When it comes to urgent care, every second counts. At Doctors Hospital, we have a dedicated team of experienced doctors and nursing staff available to you 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Don't waste time in an overcrowded emergency room when you need urgent care. Whether it's a broken bone, a severe infection, or a sudden illness, trust in Doctors Hospital's unwavering dedication to providing the best immediate care. For complete urgent care when you need it the most, choose Doctors Hospital, located in Georgetown, 16 Middle Road.
Cineco's parametric insurance after hurricanes is now available for motor policies. Fixed automatic payouts cover incidental vehicle expenses like fuel, cleanup, and minor repairs. No claims, no damage required. $200 for comprehensive policies or $100 for third-party policies. Available exclusively through Cineco and included with all new motor insurance policies and upon renewal for current policies. Visit Cineco.ky today. Cineco. Keeping Cayman covered.
We were set to battle, and your Aunt Angie was leading the pack when...
Aunt Angie, what does this have to do with car damage?
Oh, right. Well, long story long. I took down the assassins and wound up inventing a new form of mixed martial arts. I became an international champion until one sore loser karate kicked my car. But I was covered with CG.
Covered for malicious damage and more. CG Britgay. Good like that. All benefits are subject to policy provisions, including eligibility at the time of service.
Hi, this is Gary King from Totally 80s. My special guest this week is Debbie Gibson. Debbie tells us who inspired her as a kid. I'll also bring you the latest news on the biggest stars of the decade.
Heard on Saturdays from 2 until 4 p.m. on Breeze 105.3 and 91.9.
Radio Cayman's Talk Today. What is on your mind, Cayman?
Welcome back, and I have a WhatsApp message here saying, "Good afternoon, Chalo. I encourage every adult on our islands to take the darkness to light. 5 steps to preventing child sexual abuse training. This is facilitated by the Red Cross, and there are several trained facilitators on our island. This training is mandatory for everyone who interacts with children." Yeah, that's something that has been put in place now. If you do any kind of education with children or anything that you're interacting with children on a daily basis, darkness to light, and it's a very good course, and it's not heavy and intensive. It's something that is presented in a very understandable and a way that people can grasp, to know the signs, red flags that you might otherwise just miss, to say something is happening with this child, something's not right in their life, and actually if you have a daycare center, a tutoring center, school, and you see something that is suspicious, you are actually obligated by law to say something to their proper authorities. The MASH unit that investigates child abuse cases. It is a good course. Do we have a caller on the line there? Good afternoon. You're on the air with Talk Today.
Mr. Chalo.
Yes, Mr. Brown.
How are you today, sir?
I'm fine and dandy, feeling randy.
You need a little bit of brandy and a bit of chocolate candy.
I hear you, poet.
It's good to see you back, Mr. Chalo.
Well, thank you.
But you know something, when it concerns certain things, Mr. Chalo, I do not believe in talking about, after using the restroom, talking about it and making descriptions and all that. In other words, I don't like nasty argument. It disgusts me. I don't believe in that. Mr. Charlo, edifying stuff is good. I'll tell you a story about this woman. She's quite a bit older than me.
You don't make it too long, though.
Yeah, no, 2 women. It looked like they were trying to lead me into nasty argument. And she said, come, let me show you. Let me show you on one video. And she was talking some stuff about some nastiness. I mean, the most horrible things that you would never imagine, Mr. Charlo. And I said, listen, hold on just a minute. You don't bother with that. And I had to leave the presence of these 2 women on 2 different occasions, 2 older people than me, with nasty arguments. It looked like, I don't know if they're trying to introduce me or trying to inspire me to live that kind of way. But nasty argument, Mr. Charlo, is not a good. Talk about business. Talk about success. Talk about achievement. You know what I mean, Mr. Charlo?
Yeah.
Talk about good things. Would you talk these kind of little things around little children? I mean, and I'm somebody's child, Mr. Charlo. That these things can shock your mind. It can disgust you. Let me tell you, that And speaking about the news, some stuff that I heard and the way that the news are described for the last couple of years, don't talk certain kind, don't report certain types of way, discuss the people, we don't want to hear certain details, man. That is not, just imagine the types of people that hear in these kinds of things. And it's not only one kind of people that do it either. And we can't play politics. We got to be real and tell the truth and don't try to victimize people. There are a lot of good foreign people that came here. I'm a Caymanian. There are a lot of good foreign people and a lot of good Caymanians. We cannot be trying to play smart. And I don't want to say too much. But stop talking nasty argument. It can disgust people in such a way that they don't want to hear anything, don't even want to talk to you. The kinds of things that people want to talk to people about, say, something that's undesirable. I don't want to talk to that person. That is not the kind of.
Well, you stick by your morals.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. That it's disgusting, man. Disgusting, and I don't know.
All right. Well, you take care. Thanks for the call.
Yes, sir. Okay.
All right. Well, we got about a minute to go before we got a couple of callers here. All right, callers. I don't want to get started because we only got about 45 seconds or so to go, and before we have to go to the news, so we won't even really get into what you want to talk about. So just hang on there. We got news coming up, and then we'll get into the home stretch of talk today, and we're open to discussion of this and that, and tell us what's on your mind. Lots of things out there that we can discuss. So just hang in there. Stay with me. We're going to break away now to see what's happening in the newsroom.
Covering Little Cayman, Cayman Bride.
Cover me. Radio Cayman in the Cayman Islands. From Radio Cayman's newsroom, this is Headlines.
The headline news is brought to you by Kirk Market.
With your latest headlines, I'm Elizabeth Charles. The Department of Environment says its coral team has recorded the first spawning of pillar coral in local waters. In a post today, the team reports male and female colonies from Grand Cayman and the sister islands spawned at a nursery site, laying a foundation for future research and conservation work. In international news, a consortium of banks led by Morgan Stanley is planning to offload $15 billion of debt tied to a Google-backed data center in Texas leased to Anthropic. In a recent report, the Financial Times says the lenders aim to refinance the construction loans through multiple bond sales, freeing up capacity as mega AI infrastructure deals stretch traditional bank financing limits. In other news, Reuters says Austria has hit a record temperature of 41.2 degrees Celsius as a heat wave and drought strain Central and Southern Europe. In a report this week, the agency says Hungary is curbing power use to ease pressure on its grid, while Italy puts major cities on red heat alert and Albania battles wildfires. Those are the latest headlines. I'm Elizabeth Charles.
www.radiocayman.gov.ky. Check out our social media pages: Facebook, YouTube, X, formerly Twitter, Radio Cayman Headline News.
Looking for fresh, healthy food that's full of flavor? Then you've got to visit Kirk Market. Our dishes are made with fresh, high-quality ingredients. Enjoy vibrant mixed greens or satisfying pasta salads. Or try one of our delicious grill options like blackened chicken, spicy beef steak, or grilled salmon. Looking for something light and flavorful? We've got sushi rolls and poke bowls prepared daily. And don't forget to explore a hot bar or Billy Fresh salad at the Salad Bar. Stop by Kirk Market today for breakfast, lunch, or dinner and taste the difference. Eat well, live well with Kirk Market.
Radio Cayman's Talk Today. What is on your mind, Cayman?
Welcome back, and let's take a quick look at the weather. I got me a current temperature now. Okay, good. 90 degrees here in Georgetown. Feels like 106. It is hot, hot, hot. And let's see what else we got here. Winds out of the east-northeast at almost 13 knots. And the humidity 70%. And the forecast for this evening, partly cloudy skies becoming cloudy at times with a 60% chance of showers and possible thunder. Showers may become locally heavy at times. Temperatures in the low 80s, winds out of the east-northeast at 5 to 10 knots with higher gusts in and around showers. Seas running at 3 to 5 feet. The next high tide at 3:47 this afternoon, low tide at 9:46 tonight. Sunset at 6:58. And the outlook is for partly cloudy with cloudy spells during the afternoon or evening showers due to daytime heating and overnight or early morning showers due to moisture moving off of Cuba. Well, we got a couple of calls on the line there, so let's go to the phones. Good afternoon. You're on the Air Talk Today.
Good afternoon, Mr. Cello.
Yes, how are you doing?
Yes, sir, it's okay, and I would like to thank the lady that mentioned about when Mr. Scott comes on the radio. I'm here on now. I was listening to the conversation. Thank her for saying those compliments towards me. And
one of your fans.
Substantial things to say. Yes, sir. We talked about the weather phenomenons that we've been having in night times, a seasonal thing. Squalls from the heat lightning. We had one last night and one night before. The one night before probably had up to about 60 mile an hour wind. Blew down some trees. I know one sea grape tree at the public beach and one big birch tree up on the bluff. And that's a weather phenomenon. It is this time of the year. Seasonal thing that during the day in the high mountains on southern Cuba, a place called Bayamo, Cuba.
You're breaking up there on me.
Yeah, that's the all unreliable phones. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I'm hearing you.
Okay. Were you hearing me what I said before?
Yeah, you just broke up a little bit at the end there.
Yes, okay. The Bayamo squalls that comes in the nighttime. Most of the time they come in late at night when most people are asleep and they don't get to witness it. But if you stay up late in the night, you'll see the intense lightning. And
what's the name of it again?
Bayama, B-I-A-M-A. That's the old-timers from Cayman named the Bayama squall. It's heat lightning that is produced from the atmospheric just in the daytime over the high mountains in Cuba and coming from the east-northeast section of North Cayman and it from 8 o'clock on till about 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning. And very, very intense squalls.
Mm-hmm. Hello? Raymond, you there? I think we lost him. He had a bad connection there. Well, let's go to the other call that's on the line there. Good afternoon. You're on the air with Talk Today.
Hey, Mr. Glidden, it's me again.
Mm-hmm.
I took the course that you spoke about, and Actually, I've taken that course 3 times. Back in the 80s, there was an organization, I can't remember the lady's name, but right there where Reliable is behind the compass.
Yeah.
They had that course there in the 80s. I still have that certificate. I did a few when I was in the States, and I did this course last year, I think it was, at the Red Cross.
Yes.
And it is free, and it's a very informative and interactive course, just like what you said. It is mandatory for anyone that's dealing with children, of course. And I was a guardian ad litem in the U.S. I grew up in the U.S. for a short time as a child, and then I remigrated to go to school some years ago. And while there as an adult, I became a guardian ad litem 3 different times in the U.S.
What is that?
A guardian ad litem is a court appointed. We have guardians here, but they're not well known. It is a court appointed person. So you go through, you make an application, you're taken through a training through the court system, and then you are approved once you've done all of your training. So it's basically an advocate on behalf of especially children and senior citizens, abused and deprived children and senior citizens. So you're basically their voice, like a lawyer, a counselor, some of everything in between. I mean, all together. And you are assigned to different cases with different people. I chose to work more primarily with children. And so I had at least 3 different cases where my very first case was with 2 little young girls where their parents were addicted to MDMA or whatever it's called, some a drug.
Yeah, I think I know what you're talking about.
Yes, and then my third case was it was a heartbreaking case. All of them were heartbreaking, but it is a court appointed position where you are appointed to cases once you've gone through a training, and you are the actual voice of your clients.
Mm-hmm. So you speak for those who can't speak for themselves.
Yes, and so you interact with if they have lawyers or social services, the Department of Children Family Services, their school system, their preschool system, their home system. You are their voice, and you are the person that, if they're old enough and they can speak to you, you interact with everyone that's involved in their lives, and you speak on their behalf and come together with those people to try to figure out what's the best situation and solution for your clients. And I have done different training than the darkness to light that you were speaking about during my guardian ad litem, placement. And I will say this publicly, Mr. Glidden. I may be shunned after this like a leper, but I will say this. Being in America has really changed me because it showed me that Cayman still has a far way to go. As developed as we are, as well known as we are still behind with certain things, and that includes being able to speak on behalf of victims. I myself, I'm not ashamed to say, and it's empowering, and it's what I learned in America. It's what happens in most other developing countries, that women have a voice and victims are able to speak up. And they may be victimized in some instances, but for the most part, they're empowered and they're accepted, and they're not shamed or shunned for any reason, because victims are not the people. We're not the ones that caused. And notice I said we. I was a victim of child sexual abuse. I was a victim of adult sexual assault. Unfortunately, the adult sexual assault, well, let's just say that was that, and it turned out how it turned out. But I am not publicly ashamed. A lot of people know my voice on the radio because people have approached me on the road and say, I hear you on the radio. I learned in America, and I am so glad that I had that experience to go to America and go to school and got involved in the things that I got involved in intentionally and deliberately, and learned all that I learned and was able to do something for myself. It caused me to empower myself by coming forward and speaking up on my own behalf, but it also gave me the experience and the knowledge and the education to bring back to my island and one day be able to share with my people.
Mm-hmm.
But my experience as a child, I was able to take to America. And when I had those clients, especially my last client, which was a little young lady who was sexually abused by her father. He had 2 daughters, and the mother refused to get law enforcement involved. It was the teachers at the school that came forward after noticing certain things with the young lady. She was a high school student, and came forward and reported everything to authorities who got involved. The father had been incarcerated, got out of jail. He had been sexually abusing his daughter from a young age. And then she decided she wasn't going to say anything because she didn't want him to pass that on to his other younger daughter. And the mother refused to do anything and was always taking it to the church and having the pastor need to pray for them. You know, these are some of the things that I know has been happening in Cayman for years and years and years, probably longer than I was born, before I was born, probably longer than you were born. And I have no qualms to say that I am proud to see that we have more cases being brought to the justice system. I have no qualms. I wish Cayman was how it is today when it was back in my days as a child. From the time my kids could speak, depending on their developmental stages, I have 3. And they're all young adults now. I've sat them down. I've probably traumatized them, to be honest. But one incident happened with my son in Florida where he was able to quickly come out of a Wendy's bathroom and run to me and say, Mommy, someone was peeping under the door. You have to educate your children. We didn't have that when we were growing up, where parents sat down and talked, at least not in the community I raised up in, right?
You know, and like you say, sometimes it was just, brushed under the rug.
Right. Yes, absolutely. That's a common thing. A lot of Caymanians can say that's a common thing in our past culture, and it probably is still so till today, because people don't want to be victimized. People don't want to be, called out into the open and then they're ridiculed and all that kinds of stuff. But I have spoken to my children from a young age and told them what to look for. I told them what I went through, even as an adult. I told my children before I came forward and told my children, this is what Mama went through, and told them so they can be able to identify certain behaviors, certain characteristics. And these predators can be anyone that is close to our children in trusted positions. And we have the right to report them as often as we want. I just did a video on it last week, and I encourage the media. Like I said, I applaud the Royal Cayman Islands Police Force, all the agencies connected, everyone. And I am looking forward to hearing the government. The next task they're going to do is say we're going to be reviewing the sentencing guidelines for these types of offenses, these types of crimes, because they are well below the accepted types of sentences for these. I was told by a senior legal official that we can resort to the sentencing guidelines of the UK if ours are not. I can't remember the exact words, but let me tell you something.
Yeah, just use them as a model.
Yes, right. Mr. Glidden, we are failing our children with these sentences that these people are receiving in the court system, and for the reasons that they're receiving these minimum sentences. I know the legal system, and I know how it's set up, and I know it gives you credit for this and credit for that. But let me tell you, when a child gets sexually assaulted or molested, you are destroying that child for the rest of their life. Some children never come back from that. I could have been an alcoholic. I could have been a drug user. I could have been promiscuous. I could have been all kinds of something or another. And it was just strong will of my mind and certain support system around me. Teachers and the education system were there for me and supporting me. But some of these things, when we see our children grow up to be adults and engage in certain things and be certain things, it's because of what they went through. Some will never be able to speak about it.
Yeah.
And I went to America and I empowered myself, but I want to say anyone that knows about a sexual assault, you need to speak up. And when your children talk to you, you must believe them. I was but 19 when I first told my mother about my childhood, right? And then it happened to me when I was an adult. And a lot of people didn't believe me, but thanks to certain people in authority who did. right? And
Yeah.
that's what we want to see come forward for our children. We cannot afford to let our children down, Mr. Glidden. We have human rights, and we have our children, and we want to protect them. Imagine your children or anyone else that works with you, or your nieces or nephews or anything, to find out that they might have went through these types of situations. It's not a nice thing.
Well,
And I don't want
assault and abuse of children, whether it's just physical or sexual, is, it cannot be tolerated. It's despicable. I can't even wrap my mind around how an adult can do those things to a child.
Even grooming, there's a terminology called grooming.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So we can't have we can't need to have zero tolerance for this. And you see that child sexual registry that another advocate has been pushing for years. I don't know when we'll ever see that. I meant to talk about that because other jurisdictions are implementing things similar to
A
that.
sex offender registry.
Registry, yes. But let me tell you, because Cayman is so small, right? I doubt we will ever see anything like that in this lifetime, because everybody knows somebody who's done something like this, and they come from the highest position up down to the lowest position.
As you have said, going abroad, being educated abroad, really widens our perspective and our horizon.
Mm-hmm.
And I think we have more people now being educated and going abroad and seeing the greater world and coming back home, and they're bringing those perspectives with them.
Right.
So we just might. But listen, I got to get a break in here before I run out of time.
Thank you again.
All right. Good talking to you. Be right back.
Freedom, Cayman Brack. Freedom, Little Cayman. Soft breezes, blue waters, no traffic. Unwind and rejuvenate your mind, body, and soul. Sister Island Staycations, a taste of freedom. Discover all that our sister islands have to offer.
Did you know that Doctors Hospital provides urgent care services 24 hours a day, 7 days a week? And Doctors Hospital's urgent care physicians have access to the most advanced MRI and CT imaging in the Caribbean, providing reliable diagnostics when you need it most. When you need quality urgent care for an illness or injury, Doctors Hospital is here for you 24/7. Whether it's a migraine, chest or abdominal pain, shortness of breath, broken bones, or another urgent need, Doctors Hospital at the top of Walker's Road. Urgent care right now.
Aye, Bobo Tidi Cousin, everybody. I hear Cayman Airways celebrating their 58th anniversary by giving us the gifts. They got airfares on sale now for flights to every place they fly to next month through December. Look here, I going book my flights now to go Galawatten next month with Cayman Airways. I'll see you on a directly.
Catch your seat on sale by August 8th. Other conditions apply. Call 949-2311 or visit CaymanAirways.com. Your award-winning, uniquely Caymanian airline.
Your mornings just got a whole lot buzzier. Join me, Kathy Miller, every Tuesday and Thursday from 7:30 to 9:30 a.m. on The Buzz, Radio Cayman's morning talk show with insight, impact, and inspiration, covering business, policy, finance, health, culture, and the biggest local and global issues impacting our Cayman community, with fresh perspectives from younger generations to stories of inspiration from local entrepreneurs. Tune in and turn up Tuesday and Thursday mornings, 7:30 to 9:30 with me, Kathy Miller, on The Buzz. The Buzz.
Radio Cayman's Talk Today. What is on your mind, Cayman?
Welcome back, and I think we have our man in the brack back on the line. Raymond, are you there?
Sir, that's right. Unreliable service disconnected me, and you've been in conversation.
So we were talking about some of the weather we were having.
Yes, sir. That is right. The Bayama squalls that comes in the nighttime. And if anyone look in the eastern sky, 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock, I can look in the eastern sky and see the activity from the lightning and the formation of the clouds and almost tell you about what time it will reach Cayman Brack. I've been doing that many times. So this is, like I said, it's a seasonal thing this time of the year. Normally from June through about October. And when the cool weather months come in with the cold fronts, then you don't see this anymore until next year, again around June, July, around this time of the year in August. So it's been, I had some power outages as well because it will blow the power lines and maybe hit a tree branch, hit the power line, or one power line hit the other. I know down at Weston, at my place, we had the power went off for like 5 seconds and just came back on. Another time it was like 10 seconds and came back on. So those kind of things is where we get these winds.
Those are some pretty intense winds then.
Yes, correct. Yeah, you will see the great trees and the almond trees just bowing. It reminds you of a tropical storm passing by, and the wind is so cool and nice, and then it churns up. It can be a crystal clear even in before at sea, and when this comes, the coastline is muddied up from the shoreline out to the deep white holes, the whole length of Cayman Brack. That's how it takes effect on churning up and causing turbulence underneath the water to make the water muddy or milky or churned up. And you can't fish along the bay the next morning or maybe until the next second day when the water gets clear again.
So what's the direction of the winds?
From the east-northeast or north-northeast. That's the direction it comes from. East-northeast sometimes comes from directly east-northeast, and then north-northeast. But it doesn't reach Grand Cayman. Most of the time, it only happens, the intensity of it is around Cayman Brack because the lightning will burn out the moisture and the clouds if it got any rain, and it will dissipate by the time it gets west of Little Cayman or even before it gets down there. It's quite a thing to watch in the nighttime and see the activity of it.
So you can put on a little light show for you.
Oh yes, limited time now. I wanted to talk about the tremors happening there in Grand Cayman. That's becoming a little bit very concerning. They are happening down in the Cayman Trough, the Cayman Trench, which is considered to be the second or the hottest undersea thermal vent, producing immense temperature hot enough to melt lead. There are 3 volcanoes underneath the sea at 3 miles deep, puffing up like smoke constantly, never stops. And what that is doing is undermining the sea bottom, and the lava is emitting with methane gas, and there are explosions that are happening down underneath the seabed.
So this is in the trench?
Yes, the Cayman Trench, right. It trenches from Swan Island area all the way to the Dominican Republic, Hispaniola, and it's about 30 miles south of Cayman Brack, but it's close to Grand Cayman, like 15 miles south of Grand Cayman. I recorded, I think it's around 20,000 feet deep. That's almost 4 miles.
So what were you concerned about that is happening there? Tremors?
Yeah, the tremors, right. It's constantly burning underneath the seabed, and the methane gas and the lava and explosions will be occurring, and that can cause a small tremor when those explosions happen undersea. It's listed as the hottest undersea thermal vent in the world, with the temperature hot enough to melt lead. And some of the scientific research ships from the UK, one from Japan, it has caused international attention. Over the years, they have been out there surveying and sending down submarines down to the great depths to do tests and all of that. So that's why Grand Cayman is having those tremors, is activity into the Cayman Trough. And the last one, the big one that we had was felt in Cayman Bright. But this last one, I never heard of anyone here feeling the effects. And that was said 27 miles southeast of Bordentown, Grand Cayman. That would be just about in the midst of that fault line that trenches from Central America all the way back to Hispaniola.
But you say there's volcanic activity in the trench?
It's called black smokers. They are burning under the sea at 3 miles deep and puffing up black.
But aren't they what they call hydrothermal vents?
Yeah, that's right.
So it's not really volcanic.
It's a type of miniature volcanic activity. Yeah.
This is what I'm looking at now? Saying there's no active subaerial volcanoes, but it does have these what you call the black smoker.
Yes.
The hydrothermal vent fields.
Yeah, hydrothermal vents. That means heated vents. Hydrothermal means heated with severe temperature and producing the smoke, and it's constantly going at 3 miles deep with trillions of tons of water there, and that's still burning. So the water can't stop it. That shows you, will prove to us what an intense thing that is under the sea. Anyway,
and the tectonic plates are shifting too. So that's probably you get the tremors. It says tectonic setting plates slide past each other horizontally in a strike-slip motion.
Yes. There's more callers probably need to come on. You need to keep this till 3 o'clock. How about that?
Oh, I need someone to bring me some lunch to do that.
I wish I was close by. I would certainly bring you lunch with drinks and all that to keep you going.
I bet you would.
Oh, surely. Anyway, nice talking.
All right, Raymond. You take care.
Sure. Good luck. Bye-bye.
All right. Well, I think that's going to do it for us today. I know we got someone was on the line, but sorry, can't take it because we're coming right up on 2:30 here. And it's a very interesting and varied topics today, all very interesting. I want to thank you all for tuning in. Thank you for calling in and making the show very interesting. And remember, breastfed babies make healthier adults. I'm Charles Glidden. One love.
Talk Today is brought to you by the Ministry of District Administration. Explore your history. Explore your land. Explore your sister islands. And Doctors Hospital. Peace of mind is important when life happens. Doctors Hospital. Always there for you. Call 949-6066. And Cineco. Keeping Cayman covered. Visit cineco.ky for your quote today.